Okay, before I go any farther, I want to make sure my timing marks are going to line up with the timing marks on the inner primary here, and I got a feeling mine are going to be out, and I'll tell you why. This rotor here, it's an aluminum piece with magnets in it, and it's got a steel insert, and my insert was loose. I could turn the stator, and this thing I could turn it like probably 1/8 of an inch. So what I did is I took a punch and I punched all the way around on both sides, and I displaced the aluminum so it pinched it up nice and tight again. So I don't know if I pinched it tight where the factory marks are, or if it's out 1/4 of an inch, which could be like 5 degrees. So I want to make sure I get this stator marked properly before I put this cover on, bolt it on, put oil in it, before I can put a timing gun on it. So I just took it all apart, took the studs out. Got to take the studs out to make room for the timing wheel. And I'm just putting a pinch bolt on there, a couple washers, and put the timing wheel back on. Better do it now. Where's the socket for that? 15/16 is what it is. Doesn't have to be real tight, you just don't want this to spin, which it is. Oh, I could put that. Yeah, I'm going to put the washer in there too. Put the washer in there and that'll pinch it up tight. Like, it sounds good. It's running, seems like it's firing at the right position. It's got to be pretty damn close anyways to run like that. Runs pretty smooth. Yeah, I'll leave it about there, 0 at top. It's not going to matter. I don't even know where the piston is right now. It's not going to matter. I'll show you. I did this in one of the earlier videos, but I really did it ahead of time. Okay, that's not going to move. Let me snip that off. Doesn't really matter too much. I got to set that in a minute. I got a plug here for to stop the piston. Like that. I don't know if I can turn this. Well, I got to turn it both ways anyways. Okay. Okay. It's hitting the piston now. So now I'm going to set this. It's right at the 50 degrees. So I'll put a little pen mark right there. 50 degrees that way. Yeah, see if I can turn it forward without the nut coming loose. Phone ring again. Just the wrench. Just had the wrench in my hand. Okay. What we're doing is we're going to find where it's going to hit the piston. Should be pretty close. Right there. So, and then we divide the difference by 2, and that's top dead center. So, this is at 13 degrees before top dead center right there. We're at 50, so we got 10, 20, 30, 43 degrees divided by 2, so 21 and a half. So we'll put this, so I'll turn this to 21 and a half. Oh yeah, I gotta take this plug out here. Okay. Here's 10, 20, 21 and a half. You can kind of tell it's right at the top there. 10, 20, 21 and a half. Right about there is top dead center. So now, so I turned to 31 degrees before top dead center. Check my timing marks on that side. It's bang on. And now what I want to see is if this 31 degrees top dead center lines up with this one here. Where's my screwdriver? The red dot in the boiler ignition lines up dead center in that circle there. So that's why it ran. It's pretty close. But this is where I've got to see if the stator is going to line up with this so I can put the timing light on it. Okay. Let me get the nut off there. Hopefully you can see that in there. It's supposed to be at 31 degrees, which is just a little off the 30. Each of those marks is 2 degrees. And mine's at like 34 and a half, or 35. So I'm about 4 degrees out. And so I got to take that into consideration when I'm using the timing light. I'm going to put a little red mark on there right now where it should be. Okay, got it back together. I put a little punch mark on the stator there so that when I put the timing light on it, I got something to aim for. So it's out like about 3 or 4 degrees, but it runs good like that. It's been about 3 days ago now since I first fired this bike up, and there's lots of stuff to finish up. But there's a couple of problems. That's kind of why I wanted to try to fire it up first. It won't run off the choke, so I'm going to pull the carbs off again and check the idle circuit again. I blew through them with carb cleaner and they seemed clear, so the only thing I can think of are those Welch plugs in there. Maybe there's dirt in there. I'll double check it again. And I wanted to check the stator windings for output, and I put the meter on it, but it was kind of hard to run when I was fiddling with the choke, and didn't seem like I was getting real good output with it. Like it was 12.5 volts, so maybe it's around there, 12.6. I got to check that again. What else? I took the bike for a little spin with the choke on, maybe a quarter mile there and back. and the seat's hard as a rock. So the old foam in the seat has not much elasticity to it. It seems like you're just sitting on a bare chunk of metal when you're sitting on it. So that's got to be reupholstered. Didn't like that. And but man, it run good. Started right up. Actually, I haven't run it in a couple days. I fired it up yesterday morning to show my grandson, and it starts first kick. It starts first kick every time, which is great. I'll fire it up right now one more time. Got my sandals on. Not the best thing for starting up a bike, but like I say, I haven't run this bike at all today. And when I fired up yesterday, first kick, and the day before. So yeah, turn the fuel on. Give it a little bleed. There. A little bleed here. That one. Needs choke for some reason. Lots of choke. Ignition on. Gee, always she's been starting first kick every time. I got my sandals on here. Got a nice sound. Real nice sounding bike. But I gotta have that choke on. This pipe's smoking a little bit blue here, but maybe the ring's got to seat in a little bit. All I did is deglaze them and put some rings in it. Place to stay here. Too many fumes in here. Too many fumes. Garage roof yesterday. It's 12 bundles. 14 bundles with the cap, I guess. It took me all day. That's done. So my whole garage has got a new roof on it. So I'm good for years. I got some more plywood to start finishing the ceiling, a little bit more insulation. But yeah, this bike, yeah, it's gonna run really good. The motor runs good. Smoke a little blue on this side. I'm hoping that the rings are gonna seat in there a little bit. But I am gonna be looking for a new set of cylinders, new used, and something that's only been bored over, maybe, or standard, or bored over once. Because this thing, it's only bored over twice, but I can't even bore it over a third time because of the way they've offset it in the cylinders. The cylinder wall's too thin on the one side. So I'm going to look for a new set of cylinders and put a fresh set of pistons and rings in it and have that properly machined out. That's the one thing I want to do to this bike. If I can find them over the winter. And the side cover I still got to do. Finish the wiring. The seat, I'd love to order a Corbin seat. I just threw the black covers on. Phone keeps ringing. I got to get to work. But yeah, I just put these are old covers that I had a spare set. I just threw a coat of black spray paint on so it kind of matched and looked half decent. The other side cover is just junk. Yeah, I got lots of finishing up to do. The wiring and the brake switches front and back and the headlight, all that wiring, and get everything tied in. I got that brake cable routed properly down into that little clevis down there, so that works good now. I got to straighten all these out or find some good ones. Same with the The pedal on that side too is a little bit bent in and down, so I don't know if I can straighten that up or not, or look for another good used one. Lots of little stuff to finish it up, but I'm just glad it's running. The transmission worked great too when I took it for a spin. Didn't get it out of, I just flicked it into third gear and couldn't go fast enough. I just had my sandals and no helmet on. This bike accelerates pretty quickly, so, but it downshifted and shifted fine. Clutch worked good. Everything worked good. So just a few of the finishing touches here. But I'll keep doing videos until I get this bike polished up, and I'm going to be looking for another one and a junker, because I'm going to cut the frame up and I want to make a cafe out of it. That's what I'd like to do for my next project. I had a Triumph 250 trophy all lined up, and when my wife and I went away, I told the guy I'll pick it up on the way back, and he sold it before I got there, and $400, and it was a nice shape, beautiful shape. And I was going to make a single cylinder little bobber or cafe for my wife out of that bike. That would have been really cool, big single cylinder. But guy sold it on me. Jeez, I should have went there first and got it. It was only about a 2-hour drive from here. So I'm going to be looking for a frame and another engine. That's about all I need, because I'm probably going to put some Japanese forks on it, and same with the wheels, and cut the frame down, and something like that. That's my goal. Okay, that's it for today. I think that's everything I wanted to mention to you.